What's up, guys? This is a 2500 regular cab, 2003, and that's right, NV4500 manual swap. So this truck originally came with a 6.0 with the 4L80 two-wheel drive, and I've always wanted to have a regular cab with a 5-speed manual. So I've done this swap before on a Tahoe, and pretty straightforward. So thought I would show you guys how this one went. Really pretty basic. If you have general knowledge of pulling a transmission, pulling a motor, you can do this swap. It's not very hard. Everything comes kind of prepped ready for you. So the floor pan, that's already stamped where you need to cut it. It has a factory stamp in the floor, both on the trucks as well as the Suburbans and Tahoes. So my other swap was a Tahoe, and like I said, the floor pan itself is already stamped right where you need to cut it. This is a center console out of a 2008 pickup truck, work truck model. And I like it because, the 03 to 06 center consoles, they've got, kind of the cup holders down here, and it gets in the way of the shifter a little bit, as well as it doesn't have any cups up here, and it's always breaking that lid on top. So this one I like a lot. Hard to find, but if you can find one in a junkyard that has, from a work truck, scoop that up. It fits perfectly, no modifications needed. Remove the seats, drop it in there, you're good to go. And you get all the functions of a seat as well as center console with cup holders. So wanted to make it look as factory as possible. Cut the hole in the floor, get the shift boot, everything out of the the manual truck. I kept the original gauge cluster as well as the steering column. So I just pull the the one screw out of here as well as the plug for the tow haul button. Leave that all alone. You don't need that anymore. And as far as the clutch goes, as well as the master cylinder, really pretty straightforward on that as well. I'll show you guys under the hood. So the clutch, while I'm here, that is just a factory AC Delco or Dorman. I forget which one I ordered, but that's a factory clutch pedal from the manual truck. I like to take the pedal apart, mount the bracket up there first. The bolts for the bracket are already up there, so it makes it pretty easy. And then under the hood, I'll show you the hole for the slave, the master cylinder. There is a dimple in the factory firewall for your hole saw. So I believe it's a 2 3/8 hole saw to drill that hole out. Drill it out. The master cylinder and the clutch pedal all slides right in there, and it goes right down to the transmission. Plug it in, good to go on that aspect. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If this is the factory box for, I believe, the cruise control, but none of that gets in the way. Everything fits nice and neat. You can see on this one I've got some long tube headers, 6.0 stock 6.0, just have a nice little tune on it. An just an 87 octane tune from Black Bear Tuning. And yeah, runs pretty good. Show you a quick view underneath. Yeah, fits up there nicely. Got my long tube headers, some aftermarket catalytic converters. The drive shaft is the only thing I really had to modify. So I had the original 2-piece drive shaft extended to match up to the NV4500. So you can go to any local drive shaft shop, get that made up for yourself, and that's the only real major modification. Everything else is just reusing factory parts. You know, cutting the hole up in the floorboard. And then, you know, using the flywheel and the clutch kit from that same year truck. So yeah, guys, pretty straightforward. If you are swapping it, you have a few options here. You can either keep the neutral safety switch and just plug it in, turn it to neutral setting, and you can go ahead and start, or you can just bypass the wires and get rid of the switch altogether. I plan on bypassing the wires, but temporarily I just had the switch held up here in the neutral position and zip tied up out of the way. But that is it. Like I said, guys, this is my second one I've done as far as the NV4500 swap on the Silverado, and same thing goes for Suburbans as well as Tahoes. So feel free to shoot me a message or leave a comment below if you have any questions. Happy to help anyone else who's trying this on their own. And you don't need a full-blown shop. You can do this in your driveway if you have, you know, basic tools. Engine did not need to come out. I could keep the engine in and just do everything from the bottom with the transmission. This being a two-wheel drive is a little bit easier. Don't have to worry about, you know, the transfer case and front drive shaft and all that good stuff. So a two-wheel drive, definitely a little bit easier, but it's the same process. Just keep plugging away and go from there. All right, guys, have a good one. All right, as I mentioned, I did this on a Tahoe as well. I'm gonna show you guys a quick view of what this looks like. So this is a loaded Tahoe, you know, sunroof, leather seats, you know, 2001, older truck, but still, these trucks are great. So this one, similar to the other truck, you know, same thing. The floorboard is already dimpled and stamped where you need to cut it. Cut that right out. I snagged the lower dash, you know, kind of block off plate out of a pickup truck. Actually, the same truck that the manual came out of. I really wanted to keep the manual floor shift. So this truck originally came with, you know, the push button up here, but I really wanted to use that manual floor shift. So popped out the, you know, center section here of the center console that had the tape player and all that nonsense that you don't need. Retained the factory, you know, center console, you know, kind of lid there. And the rest of it was same as the other truck, you know, really straightforward. All factory pieces, all kind of go in the factory location. Runs and drives great. A lot of fun. Any questions on how to put one of these together, feel free to shoot me a message. All right, guys, take care.